Good morning, Og Prep! How's everybody doing? I hope you all had a marvelous spring break. I know I did. I hope you all rested. I hope you got outside. I hope you all had some fun and just did something that made you feel good. But guess what? We're back and it's time for us to do a little bit of drama. So we're going to start out with one of my absolute favorite parts of drama, and that would be none other than improv. So, for those of us who are a little unfamiliar with it, or those who've done it before, the first thing we want to do is we want to talk about what improv is. Now, improv is short for the word improvisation. So basically, when we do that, we make up a scene or make up an object, make up a character as we go along. Now, as you can see, behind me, there's absolutely nothing. Just a plain old white ordinary wall. You know what? That's because it is up to us to think with our brains, those big drama brains, where are we and what is happening? So that's what we're going to think about today. And in order for improv to get started, we always need to have an idea. Now, what is an idea? Think about that. Funny that we're thinking about what an idea is. An idea is simply when you have something that you're thinking about in your head that can grow into something much bigger. Say you want to write a story, or say you want to get together, a sports team or a sporting event. That is an idea, and it can grow and help you get more ideas about how to turn something small into something big and wonderful. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to think about ideas, think about things we can do to help our brains grow. So the first improv activity I want to do with you guys is something called object transfer, pass the imaginary object. Basically, what we're going to do is we are going to pretend that we have an object in our hand and we are going to pass it to a friend. So to all my students out there, if you guys want to try this with a family member or a friend, if you have friends that you see every now and again, go ahead and try it. Now, I'll be doing this myself, but I will demonstrate what passing an imaginary object feels like. So let's pretend that we have a feather, right? Feathers are light. They're pretty easy to throw up. Sometimes you have to catch them. They get a little fuzzy, and you can feel them. Pretend you have one in your hand. Sometimes they feel good against your skin. Feathers are pretty easy. So let's pretend that we have a feather and we're going to throw it up into the air. And we watch it come down. It's very light, and we might snatch it out of the air, or we might try to grab it and we can't quite get it. We bounce it up around, and suddenly we grab it with 2 fingers and we have it. And when we pass it to a friend, we might just lightly tap it over to them, or we could also blow it. And the feather goes somewhere else. There are many different ways to pass the feather around. Now, depending on what we have, we pretend to pass it around in different ways. So let's say that one of your friends decided to pull a prank on you and passed you a very slimy frog. You might say, "Here, take this," and I'd grab the frog and be like, "Ugh, ugh, what is that? Ugh, you take it." Ugh, ugh, right? We think the frog is just so slimy and gross that we wind up passing it over to somebody else. You might also have something very heavy. Let's say, you're trying to pass a big box and take it somewhere. Somebody might come up to you and say, "Hey, here you go, take this box." You go, "Okay, I got it." Oh my goodness, that is just about the heaviest box I've ever seen. So we take this box and we struggle. We try to move it. And we try to get it out. Oh, but it's just the heaviest thing in the world. Oh. And finally, we either pass it to someone else. And that was a heavy box. Somebody might also give you something soft or something cute, like maybe a kitten. So let's say we have a little kitten and we take it. It's very cute. We're just petting it a little bit, trying to make it purr and feel good. And we want to be very careful when we give it to a friend. So we take the nice soft kitten, we very gently give it to a friend. Now, that's just one example of improv. There's other things we can do too. The big thing to think about when you do this activity is how easy is it for you to think of something, and how easy is it to pass certain things? And also, what certain things might be difficult to think about? What objects do you have trouble thinking about how to pretend to use and to pass along? So those are just some questions to keep in mind. Now, I have one other thing for you guys to do, and this one will definitely require somebody else. What you need to do is pretend to be a certain object using only your bodies. For example, you might pretend to be a scissors. Now, if I were pretending to be a scissors, I might stand like this, and I might have my arms up and just go like this to pretend to be the scissors, right? Easy enough. But let's say I wanted to be a chair. I would probably have to take my body, put my hands like this, and bend your knees a little bit so you pretend that you're a chair. Nice and simple, right? Or let's say you wanted to be a lamp. You might stand super straight. You might hold your finger up to be the switch for the lamp. You might stick your arm out. Maybe you're one of those pump lamps from back in the old days. You can just pretend to be anything. You can try this by yourself, like I am right now, but you can also work with a partner. Pick anything, any object you could possibly be, and try to form it together. And those are just a few examples that we can use to start off on improv. So try your best with this, and if you think of it, show me what you got. But we will continue tomorrow with even more improv exercises and continue to use our brains to think of ideas. All right, my friends, take care, guys.